Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Well, good morning if you're in Australia and in Asia, and good evening if you're in the US and in the middle of the morning in Europe. Hi everyone. My name is Karen Millers. I'm coming in from the fabulous Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. The Gold Coast is I was going to say the sun cancer capital of the world, but it's not. New Zealand is. We are Australia's favourite holiday destination. So just outside my door is the fabulous Surfers Paradise Beach. And I'm lucky enough that I was born in this area and I have grown up, and now I still live here, so I haven't come very far. And I'm joined today by my gorgeous friend, both in business and in life, Susan McDonald. And
Hi,
Susan, I'll let
everyone.
you tell everybody where you're from and what you're doing here. And I'm very unimpressed that you don't have a animal thing on
Ah,
you.
I can I can swap to an animal headband if you like.
I'm only teasing.
Well, lovely to meet everybody. My name's Susan. I live in Melbourne, Australia. I'm actually fairly near the beach as well, but down the bottom end of Australia in a place called Port Melbourne. I am 56 years old. I'm a mum in I call it a beautiful, crazy blended family. We have four young adults. And I started Nu Skin almost 10 years ago now. And the reason that I started was I really wanted to be able to be around for the kids as they went through their teenage years. And I'm proud to say that I've done that, been able to generate a great income and just be there for every single moment for them. So now I'm kind of out the other side, the young adults. I have new goals and new aspirations. And I'm just really excited that I've been with Nu Skin for a long time now, but it's always new. There's always something new and innovative and amazing coming. So I'm really glad to be here today to help Karen.
Yes, and she's a great help as well. So my Nu Skin story is that I was lucky enough that I was introduced to Nu Skin 20 years ago now. My background is banking and finance, worked for one of the major banks, and then I had my own business. I owned a post office in Australia. They can be a franchise. And that was 4 years of 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I started with a 6-month-old and a 4-year-old. So it was a nightmare for me. And got out of that, went back to working for other people again. But once you've worked for yourself, really hard to work for somebody else again. And I was lucky enough 6 years later, 6 years of looking for another business, that I was introduced to Nu Skin. And I was introduced to Nu Skin through the nutritional program, something called a biophotonic scanner. In 35 seconds, it will measure your antioxidants and tell your body where you're at. And so this was really interesting to me because health is really important. My family history was full of cancer. Being all about prevention was where I was coming from. And so I started using Nu Skin's products and my health improved. I helped other people know where they were at with their body. And then 3 years later, they brought out the Wrinkle Line. And I haven't got it right with me, but it's a little machine about the same size as a mobile phone, and it irons out wrinkles out of your face. And I didn't think it would work. Very skeptical, came along to an event and they're doing half of people's faces, and right in front of my eyes, a lady's face changed. And from there, I took it home. I rang up all my girlfriends and said, hey, I got this thing. It irons out wrinkles out of your face. And I knew if I didn't share it with you, you'd kill me. And so I shared it with them, and they had friends that wanted to see it as well. And it grew into a business. I never expected it to, but I'm really, really grateful that it did, because it allowed me to stay home with my kids, which is what Susan talked about, and to be there for my two daughters. I've got two grown-up daughters, 34 and 30, and three grandbabies. A 5-year-old, a 2-year-old, and an 8-week-old. And I love that I can spend time with them whenever I need. In fact, after this call, I'm jumping in the car, hooting up to Brisbane to help my youngest daughter out with her baby for the rest of the day and night. So it gives me choices I never would have had before if I would have been still working a normal job, and also traditional business. So today, actually, I think we need to do we take the photo first or the photo afterwards? Linny, what will we do? Because I'll just keep on talking if I don't hear from you. We can do the photo later. Okay. So we're going to be talking about two of my favorite devices, and the Ulala Lumi Spa just recently recognized again as the world's #1 cleansing device. Is that 7 years in a row, Susan?
Yes, amazing.
How cool is that? A little device that we can use in the shower and the Boost. These are the two devices we're going to be talking about today. Yes, I've done mine this morning, and Susan's already done hers as well, but she's going to be doing it again. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go on from there. So Susan, are you ready to go?
I am ready.
You're ready. Blast off. Oops, hang on. That's not what I want to show. Oh, hang on. Okay. Oh, how come I've got background noise now. Are you getting that feedback, Susan, or is that just me?
Yeah, I can hear the feedback.
Stop share. I wonder if it's me or is it somebody else?
I think it might be you, but maybe if everyone can make sure they mute themselves, if anyone's not muted, that might help. Try now. There you go.
There we go. Okay, maybe it wasn't me. Okay, let's go again.
Okay.
Okay, now I'll just share the screen.
All
Okay,
good.
so that's Susan and I. We've done lots of presentations together over the years. We've always had a really good time. That's one of our expos here in Brisbane. But let us tell you about the LumiSpa. And so it doesn't matter how old you are, everybody wants to look and feel healthy in the skin that they're in. And that's one of the things I get really excited about the LumiSpa is it can be used for every age. Now, my grandbabies, the 5 and 2-year-old went to Halloween dress ups last year, and getting all that stage makeup off, they use the LumiSpa to get that off. Now, it's got some special technology called micropulse oscillation. Try saying that when you've got a few champagnes in you, Susan, but I'm sure you probably can. But it helps with not just pumping the pores clean, but it also helps. It's at a precise frequency or a speed, if you like, that excites the collagen and elastin cells in our skin. They might make more babies, and consequently, we get more collagen and elastin. And the double-blind clinical trials, and that's one thing that we always have to remember, that this company does double-blind clinical trials that have proven that this device increases collagen production by 40%. And so as we age, by the time we're 40, we've lost 1 kilo of collagen. By the time we're 60, we lose 2 kilos of it. We've got something that we can use in our shower, taking 2 minutes twice a day to increase our collagen production by 40%. It's pretty cool. So it uses something called counter oscillation. So the opposite directions at a certain speed excites the cells. They get them all working together, and that's how the technology works. Now, I'm hoping that I can share this with you. I only found this last night, and Dr. Joe Chang, who's our Chief Scientific Officer in charge of our 75 PhD scientists that work for us, was interviewed by Discovery Channel about this technology. So I really want to share this with you. So hang on to your hats. This is really good information.
Focuses on aging. We're using natural ingredients to clean those genes again. Because what we find from our research is the fact that the genes can still operate or can still function. With that understanding, we can now use that knowledge to develop anti-aging products going forward in the future. Fundamentally, with our ingredients and all the research is to see how we can restore original gene expression. That's really what we're trying to do with our products, is to influence and restore the gene expression of certain type of genes.
So I have are utilizing gene expression profiling technologies to develop ways of affecting cell.
By studying gene expression, we learn by moving cells that we can actually increase the amount of protein production in the skin. When we move skin cells, by moving the extracellular matrix, we can increase collagen, elastin, glycan, and other important structural proteins.
The results have proved that movements can regulate gene expression in cells. So can it be applied to the skin?
We have 70 plus different formulas that we were testing, that we're looking at to find out what type of movements
would be the right movements to provide those.
Counter oscillation actually moves the skin in the appropriate way so that we get the skin benefits. Counter oscillation moves the skin in both directions. That's why it's called counter. And by this method, we can increase important proteins in the skin.
So that's pretty cool. And it's talking about not just the LumiSpa, but also the boost as well. So getting that happening makes such a difference. And they talk about all different things. They talk about these proteins and the glycan. I never heard about that before, but I Googled it, and it's like a bridge to help the skin. To deliver products to where it needs to go. So what does the LumiSpa do? Well, the studies show that it improves softness, smoothness, cleaning, brightness, radiance, clarity, luminosity, and pore appearance and firmness. And just 2 minutes twice a day. The head is a medical grade silicone. It's embedded in silver, so bacteria can't stick to it. And so it's really great hygienically. And it just pops off and on. And you can just wash it under the water, under a running tap, and it'll clean it. The big thing to remember is that when you're using it, to always make sure you're looking after it. And so after you've finished using it, wipe it down and allow it to dry so you can get the best results. Now, I'm going to ask Susan, I'm going to stop sharing, and we're going to go through how to use it. Oh, look, Susan's there using it already. She's a superstar.
I thought I better get started.
Yeah. Okay. So Susan,
I'm
tell us
happy to start again.
what have you been doing?
Okay, so when you use your LumiSpa, the first thing to do is make sure your face is wet. Normally I'd be in the shower. Clearly I'm not in the shower today. So I actually just sprayed some of our amazing moisture mist on my face. So make sure your face is wet. Make sure the treatment head is wet. I've just got a bowl of water here. And then you put on whichever cleanser you've got for your LumiSpa directly onto the treatment head. So I use the sensitive one because I've got very sensitive skin. And I also use the gentle treatment head. So most of you would be aware there's 3 different treatment heads. When you purchase the LumiSpa, you get the normal treatment head, which is perfectly fine, even for sensitive skin. I just love this one. So I put this on, it's like little octopus suction cups on it. I love the way it feels. And with the cleanser, there are 5 different cleansers. I've got the sensitive one, but there's dry and oily, acne. What else is there? Normal combo. Right, so what you do is you put on enough cleanser to cover the center circle on the treatment head, and then you dab it over your face. I'm just going to do half my face. That just gives you some even distribution. Then you turn it on by pressing this button here. And I always start at the bottom and make sure you move in an upwards and outwards direction, which I'll explain a bit more when we talk about the boost. And you just gently and slowly move it over your face. If you're anything like me, you might have a tendency to sort of, go like that. But the LumiSpa doesn't like that. And it will go, it's not going to like it. It will let you know that that's no good so that you can slow down so that you can get the most or the maximum benefits from it. So you just go around. It actually pauses every 30 seconds. Because I've been rushing, I should have explained. So I always do my first 30 seconds, my chin and my neck area. When it pauses, I then do the next 30 seconds, my cheek and my nose and around my eye. And then when it pauses again, I do my forehead. I'm only going to do half of it, so let's just do that now. And then when it pauses again, I would do the other cheek. So 2 minutes, and when it finishes, it turns itself off. And as Karen said, it is super important to then make sure you wash the treatment head and remove it. It blows my mind how many people don't remove the treatment head. And if you're not removing the treatment head, you're not looking after your device properly. Because what happens is all of the gunk builds up underneath, right? So just take it off, rinse it, leave it at the end of the bath or on your bench or wherever you put it. And I always dry mine as well. I mean, look, you don't have to, but I think you should. So yeah, that's how you use it. And then you rinse off the cleanse. Someone's not on mute, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, perfect. So, yeah, you need to then rinse it off and then you continue on with the rest of your routine. So, cleanse, which I've done, then I tone with the priming solution, and then treat with the serum or the boost, moisturize with the uplifting cream, and protect with our sunscreen. So, yeah,
It's pretty simple. And the thing is, you can do it pretty fast too. I mean, even though you're not speeding, you're taking the whole 2 minutes to do your face.
uh,
It doesn't take a long time once you get into the routine, and once you feel how good your skin is, um,
amazing.
you don't you don't want to miss it. And sometimes it feels so good, I'll do it twice, you know.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too. It's really like I'll do my décolletage as well as a different treatment. It feels so good. And I went on a long road trip over January on down the bottom end of Australia, and I took my Lumi Spa, but I forgot the treatment head. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh! But
sounds like
thankfully,
something I do, Susan.
oh my gosh. Anyway, but how lucky are we? New skin delivery is so quick. I just ordered one. It was with me within 2 days.
Yeah.
Incredible, incredible. We're so lucky.
And you talk about the different heads, like, I have them both, but I also have the firm head because I love doing my feet. The Lumi Spa
Yeah.
on your feet is delightful, and it's something really nice to do for somebody. I was up at my mum's on the weekend, and I always make sure that I take my devices with me, and so I did her feet, and she just loves it. So it just,
It
it's a nice.
sounds super weird though.
It's great to do your own, but somebody you love, you'll do their feet. With the
Yes.
So it's a good thing to do, and it's not just doing that work with our cells, but it's also helping move all those lymphatic fluids, so that puffiness goes away, and so it can make a huge difference. We see people with their eyes lifting and their cheeks lifting just after 2 minutes. So Susan, what do we do next? So we cleanse, we tone. So
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that already. So I use the True Face priming solution. We have got a new one coming out soon, but I'm still using this. So it's fabulous, full of amino acids, which are the building blocks of your skin. So definitely make sure you use a toner. They have a different purpose to what they used to have, but they're really about settling the pH of our skin, getting it back to what it should be, and then we can move on with the rest of our treatment. So will I talk about the boost?
You just on that, a lot of people have asked me, they've said to me, oh, Karen, but you've told me that our products are pH balanced to
Yeah,
our
good point.
to neutral. And that's very true, they are. And they said, so why do I have to get my skin back to their pH? And I said, because often the water we're using is not. And
Mm.
so it's the water that can be putting your pH out. And so being able to do that, which is what Susan's just done, is the bomb, is the answer. And so next step is the boost.
Yeah, so cleanse, tone, then treat. So you use your boost once a day. I say use it in the morning, right? If you're going to have beautiful looking skin, it may as well be during the day rather than when you're asleep at night. So that's when I use mine. I love it. It's so tiny. It just fits into the palm of your hand. So quite a bit smaller than the Lumi Spa. So we say it's the Lumi Spa's little sister. And it uses something called swipe up technology to make it work. So what you do here is you swipe up and that actually turns the boost on. I don't know if you can see, but the lights come on. And then you put on the very specific boost serum. So this serum has got lots of amazing ingredients, which I will talk about in a moment. But first of all, let's talk about the technology that the boost uses. So it uses something called microcurrent technology. And what that does is, it does a couple of different things. So one is it stimulates your skin. So it's like giving your skin a bit of a workout. It doesn't hurt. Not like if you go to the gym and you haven't been for ages and you come home and you can't sit down anymore. It's not like that. Gives your skin a bit of a workout, stimulates cellular turnover. So what happens to our skin as we age is our cellular turnover slows down. And also because it slows down, we have more and more dead skin cells that accumulate on the surface of our skin or on the epidermis. And what that does is it makes our skin look kind of dull, it makes it dry, it makes it dehydrated, and we start to lose the plumpness in our skin. And if you think about, I think a really good example is a baby. Look at a baby, they've got this beautiful, plump, wrinkle-free skin, they look amazing. And that's because they have a lot of collagen. and their cellular turnover is somewhere between 3 and 5 days. So what that means is they have beautiful, healthy, plump, fresh, new skin cells coming to the surface of their skin every 3 to 5 days. And what happens as we age, so let's say we hit our 30s, our cellular turnover has dramatically increased. And once we hit our 50s, like me, as I said, I'm 56, our cellular turnover can be anywhere between 60 and 90 days. So yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so no wonder, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but if you walk into a room full of new skin people, they all have the new skin glow because they're all using these incredible devices that stimulate cellular turnover. So they have the young, fresh, healthy cells sitting up on the surface of their skin. So that's really important. The other thing that the boost does, or the microcurrent in the boost does, is it stimulates the production of something that sounds quite complex. It's called adenosine triphosphate. The easy, I know. Yeah.
I'm so impressed with you.
Oh, thank you. So the short name for that is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. And what that does is it encourages the production of collagen and elastin. And in turn, that reduces your fine lines and wrinkles, reduces pigmentation as well, and it encourages cell regeneration. Now, as I was saying before, you use it with a specific serum. So what you do to use it is you swipe upwards to turn it on, and then you need to put sufficient serum on the treatment head to allow it to operate properly. So if you don't put on enough serum, it's not going to work. It'll make this weird buzzing noise. So you pop the serum on. I always use 3 to 4 pumps, and you do one half of your face, and then you put on more serum, do the other half of your face. If you look at the treatment head, you may have noticed there's like this blue ring, and it's because part of the treatment head has got a positive current and the other part has got a negative current. So it's got a biphasic current. If that serum doesn't go over the whole head, the positive and the negative areas, that's why you get that buzzing noise and it doesn't work. So pop the serum on, then dab the serum over your face using the device. And in doing that, it's spreading the serum across the treatment head. Then you swipe up again and it puts it into treatment mode. So I'm going to swipe up. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but let's see. Probably not. It goes zzz, zzz, zzz. And away you go. So I always start again at the bottom, a slow upwards and outwards motion. And the reason you want to go slowly is so that you can get all of the benefits of the microcurrent. So you're not going to get the same benefits if you're moving it too swiftly over your face. And you probably hear people all the time saying, you know, make sure you move in an upwards and outwards direction. There's a reason for that. So the first reason is it helps to lift your facial muscles. You know, it's moving in the correct direction to defy gravity. So gravity is always, you know, pulling our face downwards. So if we go upwards and outwards, it's going to lift it upwards. Also, what it does when you're moving towards the ear and towards the hairline is it stimulates lymphatic drainage. I'm just going to keep going. I've turned it on again. Stimulates lymphatic drainage. And that's really important because it helps to reduce fluid retention, puffiness, particularly helpful for under the eye area. And the other thing that going in this direction does is it encourages healthy circulation. So it brings fresh blood to the surface of the skin. And the microcurrent is really interesting, actually. It kind of slightly increases the temperature on the surface of your skin. And what that means is your products are absorbed a lot more effectively. I mean, who knew? So that slight increase in temperature actually softens part of the skin, the outside of the skin, basically. So yeah, you get better absorption
That makes
of your
sense
product.
because when we put on products, we warm them into our skin.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. And now I don't want to bore everyone with all the technical information. So I finished, then it pauses, then you put more serum on and you do the other half of your face. Then it turns off. And look, the boost to clean it, it's water resistant. So it's not waterproof. You don't want to be submerging it in water like you would with the LumiSpa. So what I do is I run the treatment head under a tap, I give it a wipe with a face washer and then dry it, and it's all set, ready to go. Just be careful. Some people tend to not wash it properly. It gets a bit of buildup of the serum under here. If that happens, just use I don't know, do you guys call them cotton buds? Q-tips, maybe you call them, and just clean underneath there. So the actual serum itself, you must use the boost with the serum. One of the best serums I've ever come across. In fact, I used to say it was the best until we got the retinol. I'll talk about that, talk about that as well. But yeah, it's got 4 different types of hyaluronic acid, which is really important. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant. It means it attracts and binds moisture to your skin. So particularly important as we age. Also contains active vitamin C. So there's lots of products out there that say they contain vitamin C, and no doubt they do, but it's actually really hard to stabilize vitamin C in skincare. It's expensive. So most companies don't do it, and they're allowed to say they've got vitamin C, even if it's not active. So when it's active vitamin C, like in here, it is 50 times more effective than just any old vitamin C in a skincare product. So yeah, those are the hero ingredients. There's a few other ingredients as well. Caviar lime extract, that's amazing. That's like a natural alpha hydroxy acid. So that helps to give you a really gentle exfoliation and also encourage cell turnover. So there you go. That's the boost.
interesting thing about that caviar lime is actually it's native to Australia. The
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
a little
Yeah.
plug in for the Aussies.
Yeah, and actually one more thing, it's got sea daffodil extract. I forgot about that. Most people would be like, what is that? Does that even exist? Sea daffodil extract. But it's really, really effective for reducing pigmentation. So you'll often see before and after photos of people who use the boost and their pigmentation has decreased quite significantly.
Yep. We like to call it the Botox wand
Yeah.
because it literally is giving your face a boost and a lift every day. So it's a really great device. And the serums, I know in the US you can't actually get the boost, but in the other markets you can. You can buy the boost serum in the US, so you can get it on your skin. Of course, if you decide to use the Galvanic Spa, your skin is going to absorb everything you put on it much better. So you can't use the boost, use your Galvanic 2 or 3 times a week, and you're going to get good results for everything that you put on your skin. I have got some pictures, and we can quickly talk through those, and also a little bit about the retinol, because it's nighttime over in the US, and so you guys will be putting your retinol on before you go to bed. We won't be putting that on, but I just want to share these pictures. So this is Michael. He's been using both the LumiSpa and the boost. These first 2 photos are over a couple of months. You can see the difference, but you can see the before and after. This is him just doing one side of his face, and I think he did that for about a week, and decided that he had to keep on doing it more often on both sides of his face because he had such a great result.
Good.
Aren't they good? What a great
Yeah.
result. And that's the thing, our products work. This is my gorgeous friend Dana. Again, she's a nurse. She tried lots and lots of clinical stuff, not got results, and started using our products really quite skeptically, and quickly saw her skin start glowing, and she's just, glowing inside and out. This is my gorgeous daughter Madison. She used the boost and the LumiSpa, but the boost on one side of her face. She was getting married, so she was really conscientious doing her skin, and you can see her eyebrow is all opened up, her eye is more open, her cheek is sitting differently. She was 26 years old to see those sorts of results. That was one treatment, so that convinced her to use it all the time. Someone's just talking about these ingredients. I'm not going to go through that again, but the results are really cool. This is my niece Ashley, again, one side of her face. Susan talked about the discoloration, and this is Alison. She's mad on horses, so she's been out in the sun her whole life and had incredible results with the boost, and they just kept on coming. Here we're at home, so during the day, so we'd be putting normally our uplifting cream on now, which is our moisturizer. It's an incredible product, but some people will be going to bed and putting their retinol on. I just wanted to share this picture. This is my girlfriend Sam, or both Susan and our girlfriends. She did the retinol just for 3 days on one side of her face. She was going to do it for a whole week, but after 3 days, she thought, no, I'm doing it on my whole face too, because the results are so great. Susan, you are a big fan and also
I am.
knowledgeable about the retinol.
Yeah,
Share with everyone.
Yeah, so happy to share. So I have to say, I never thought in a million years that I would use retinol, because I am a science nut. I love research. I love knowing what things do and why they do them. I was brought up in a house. My dad is a microbiologist, so we're always taught to question things and look into things before just accepting things at face value. So anyway, I had looked into retinol because my friends had told me about it. My nephew used it because he had really bad acne. And I thought, nah, never in a million years am I using that, because it causes, look, it's a gold standard in skincare, don't get me wrong, in terms of anti-aging, you know, less wrinkles, smaller pores, less pigmentation, firmer skin, more collagen. However, what your skin has to go through, and for the length of time it has to go through that in order to see those results. For me, I was just like, it's not worth it. You know, I've got the Galvanic Spa, I've got the Lumi Spa, I've got the uplifting cream, I've got collagen. I don't need that stuff. So when Nu Skin came out with this though, because I've been with Nu Skin for nearly 10 years, I trust them. I trust them. Even so, I still looked at the ingredients. I still looked at the ingredients, yeah. So what I found was that this is like nothing else that's on the market. It is my favorite topical product now. I absolutely love it. You use it once a day at nighttime. I use 3 or 4 pumps usually, because I like to, and you all should too, use your skincare on your face and your décolletage. And yeah, really important to do that. So cleanse, tone, treat with the retinol, and then I actually use Pillow Glow at night. So that's another topic. Yeah. So what makes this one different? Okay, so the first thing is it's got 2 different types of retinol in there, and they are both slow release, and that's why they don't cause irritation. Still clinically effective, still do a great job on everything, and still have all the benefits of retinol. It's quite extraordinary. And there are other ingredients that Nu Skin have put in here to assist with that as well, in terms of reducing irritation. So it has jojoba extract, very calming and soothing for the skin, and another very soothing ingredient called 4TB. So that's kind of like just to like triple check that no one's going to get any irritation. And to top it all off, we have the first nature identical peptide identified by artificial intelligence. Now, when I heard that, I was a bit like, ooh, you know, what does that mean? Is it some kind of like weird chemical? But it's not. So with the peptides, there are literally millions of combinations that could come together to create a peptide for skincare. So in terms of finding something that's effective, it could literally take months, if not years, to find the right combination. So using AI and a specific algorithm that Nu Skin partnered with another company to get a mathematical algorithm, it's come up with this peptide in, you know, a couple of days. And so the peptide has its own anti-aging benefits in its own right. So if this was just the peptide, it would still be an amazing serum. But the peptide increases the benefits of the retinol, wait for this, by 400%. Like, that is mind-blowing. There is nothing else like this on the market. So this is why I love it. This is why I promote it. This is why all my customers buy it all the time, because it is incredible and also very, very cost effective. So yeah, that's the retinol.
Such a good product, and you explain it so beautifully.
Somebody's
Somebody's talking there in the background.
maybe
If you
Kim, if you could mute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that. And so at nighttime, every night, I know the other day I was away and I didn't take my retinol, left it. And so the next day when I got home, I did actually do it during the day. Because I just didn't want to miss a day. My skin, my glow, you know, our skin is completely opposite. I'm quite dark, and I spend a lot of time out in chlorine and toxins and the sun, and your skin can get really, really flat. when you've got the olivey sort of skin, but my skin just glows. It's just
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, and I should have mentioned the reason we don't use it during the day is it does increase your sun sensitivity a little bit. It's not, ours isn't terrible, a little bit, but it's still better to just use it at night.
Yeah. That's so good. Thank you so much. I'm just going to get on here and see if I
Share this with
mute
a friend.
somebody.
Okay, I was able to mute. It was, yeah,
you're
I was
faster
able
than
to mute. I saw them on my screen.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I think that's all. That's all we
Yes.
got.
Should we get
Yes.
our photo?
So, yes. And is there any questions? Does anybody have any questions for us? As you know, as you can hear, Susan is an expert in ingredients and all that sort of stuff. Susan can name all of them, and I call them goodies. There's some goodies.
It's super
So-
interesting. I find it really interesting, you know. And look, the reality is most people just want to know that it works, right? You know,
Yeah.
really, they just want to know that it works. And I think if someone's had a bad experience with retinol, for example, it's nice to be able to either explain it to them or to point them in the right direction to find the information. So I always recommend that everybody, this is my recommendation in my team. Everybody learns 3 key benefits of a product and 3 key reasons why. That might be ingredient related. It might be technology related, like microcurrent or whatever. But I think 3 things is pretty acceptable, and most people are able to learn that. And my thoughts are that we should know what we're talking about if we're promoting these products.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to take ourselves. Oh, someone's got a question.
Oh, yeah. After cleansing with LumiSpa, do you wipe your skin with a wet towel or just a dry towel? Wet. So after cleansing with LumiSpa, you either, if you're in the shower, you just put your face under the water and that'll rinse it off. Or if you're at the bathroom sink, you definitely need to use a wet face cloth because you need to remove the cleanser from your face. Just keeping in mind that the cleanser will be, by the time you've done your LumiSpa, it will be full of your makeup and the oils from your skin and the dead skin cells. So you want to get that off your skin definitely. So wet. You're welcome.
Yes. Okay. I don't think we've got any other questions. We're going to take ourselves off of spotlight so that we can take a photo of everybody. So hey, don't run away, everybody.
Do you use also a micro needling gadget? No, I definitely don't. I don't think it's all at all necessary.
Not when we've got the things like the Boost and the Galvanic Spa.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do use microneedling devices. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but I think, well, we don't need to do that. They work on the principle of damage and repair, you know, like little tiny needles all over your skin, damage it, try to stimulate the collagen production. But yeah, I prefer to use our, I guess, more non-invasive devices. Thank you for asking.
Okay, so we're going to get a photo. So hold up if you've got them, your Lumi and your Galvanic, your Boost, and we'll get some photos. Now, I might just take them because I'm not sure that we've got somebody to take them. It's nice seeing everybody's faces here.
Yeah,
Hi.
thank you.
Hi, Bob Howe. Nice seeing you. We caught up when I was in America last. Very nice to see you.
Karen, you can hold up your devices because I can take a picture one-handed.
Oh, you're so clever.
Not really sure how. Just trust me, everybody. Okay, everybody smile and do something funny. Beautiful. I've got them. Oh, hi, Tina. Thanks for joining. That was so much fun. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Susan. You're a wealth of information. We have one in the USA. Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we don't have that here.
The microneedling, yeah, we don't have it in Australia.
Yeah, we're not. Yes. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed the morning. Thank you, Susan. You're amazing.
Love you
all, and look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, but different presenters. So
bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen and Susan.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Susan from Tokyo, Japan. Bye. ありがとうございます、エビちゃん。ごめんなさい、なんか、今朝はいろんなところから、ズームが入れない、入れないっていうのが入ってきて、申し訳ございません。また、機会があったら聞いてください。はい、今日本にいますよ。はい。